PhotoFabPaperFlowers, and this is day 2 of a Merry Makers weekend. We'll get started shortly with our live tutorial, so be sure to comment where you're watching from, and thank you for joining on this Small Business Saturday as we celebrate all of our small businesses and we get to create some gorgeous flowers today. So stay tuned and we'll get ready to begin very shortly. So welcome in. I'm just going to share the live to my Facebook business page. And please be sure to share to your socials as well. So welcome, fabulous friends, Merry Makers, J Crew, Veeples. Hi there, welcome in. I'm just sharing to my social. Sorry for my arm. Hi there, everyone. Yay, Christy. Welcome. Hi there, everyone. Happy Saturday. Thanks for joining. Hi, Diana. Hi, Jeanette. Hey, Linda. Missouri. Oh my gosh, yes, it has been a very long time. Sorry for my coffee cup. I need some fuel. Welcome. Thank you for joining on this Saturday. I am kicking off day 2, and I see my friend Forever Petals by Vee and collaborator for a very Merry Makers weekend. We have a fun-filled day for you. I'm super excited because we haven't had our friend, and I don't even know what I was going to say. Our friend, Florist the Explorist with us. Popped in and out on a few lives this year, but we're super excited that he's going to be live on Facebook at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 Central. So you don't want to miss always the hijinks and the laughs that Isaac of Florist the Explorist brings to us. And I definitely have missed seeing my friends in person in Texas, so we're super excited that he's actually doing a tutorial. So thank you, Isaac. I can't wait to see. And yes, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. Let's make this weekend one to remember. And we're here to inspire you with our paper flowers, and hopefully we'll teach you how to make them, and then you can design them and make some beautiful arrangements. Forever Petals by Vee will be doing a floral set for you tomorrow. My project for tomorrow is still up in the air. I need to figure that out once we are done here today. But no matter what, you'll see something, whether it's an arrangement or a 12-inch wood sign. It's one of the others. So I'm going to be making 2 flowers today using Template 6 mini flower from a Very Merry Makers Weekend 2025 mini flower bundle. So there's 2 templates. Forever Petals by Vee has the large template bundle, which is available in her Etsy shop, and I have them all linked in the description for this video. The video is saved here on my YouTube channel and Vee's live tutorial will be saved on her channel. When you go to each of our pages, you then click the live link, and then you can access the live tutorials that we did, and they're saved there. I'll be making a playlist as well. My mini flower template is available in my Etsy shop. I'm probably all over the place today, as I can tell. Lots of Thanksgiving food and carbs does not go well with me. And I didn't have a lot of sleep last night. But I did watch lots of Christmas movies, so we hope you are getting into the holiday spirit, whether you're shopping, your local stores, which today, let's celebrate all of our small businesses and support each other. Or whether you're just decorating your house this weekend, we truly do appreciate you hanging out. So today, with my mini flower bundle, I did provide the actual project files. So all you need to do is upload the project for template number 6 in the bundle. And I did the same for 5, which we talked about yesterday. There's one project file that's the master files. There's flower 1, which we're going to make now. And then there's flower 2. So you simply upload it to your machine's design space, title it, ungroup it if it's an SVG, and you're good to go. Okay, super simple. I provide a 10-page instruction document with the purchase of my mini flower bundle and explains everything in there. And for most of you who do know or may not know, I am an instructional designer in my daytime job, which means I write documentation, communications, policies, procedures, training, job aids, instruction documents. So I truly do put my heart and soul into all of your instruction documents to make it as clear as possible. So I appreciate, and I hope you do appreciate, all the time and effort I do put into that. So I'm super excited to kick this off today. So thank you for joining. And we know it's a busy time of year, but we truly do appreciate it, whether you're watching live here or in replay, commenting, sharing, purchasing our templates, liking, subscribing, and all of the above. And to get into the holiday spirit, I did watch Four Christmases, was on HBO last night, followed by Bad Santa and Bad Santa 2. And then what came up in my feed, one of my all-time favorites is Love Actually, where Hugh Grant does his little dance in that movie. And as Hulu said on the ad, it was, we waited all year to see that. And yes, we did. So thanks everyone for joining. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending when you're watching. Hi, Erica. So all the sizes are set up. I don't need to go over them as we do. With template number 6 from A Very Merry Maker's mini flower bundle, there are 2 leaf styles. One is more like a feather-ish. I thought would be cool to have one of those this year. And they're all based upon the actual shape of template 6. So you will see Forever Petals by Vee. If you cut this petal off, this is exactly the large template. So I create the mini flower from the large templates. So we're super excited to see what flower she comes up with. I did cut the leaves at different sizes. And again, I have it all notated in your instruction document. I did ink around the edges. When I use a darker green color, I like to use ground espresso. So the tools we're going to use today are our flower shaping mat. Optionally, you can use some finger dabbers and some ink. So just like yesterday, I kept my colors very similar. Normally I use oxide, but I accidentally picked up the ink. So ground espresso, lumberjack plaid, and vintage photo. Vintage photo is a beautiful antiquing light brown color. It's great on whites, pinks, almost anything. We're going to be using a bone folder. We have our metal ball stylus tools. We need our slotted quilling tool, some precision scissors, and I'm using the 6-inch dowel rods. So if you do need any paper flower tools, I do offer them in my Etsy shop. There's lots of different options. Maybe you just need to purchase one of the tools separately, or there's multiple options for starter kits. So I am using the 6-inch dowel rod. So you can see I do hand color code them so you can easily identify the sizes. When myself or Forever Petals by Vee says 3/8, you know, oh, let's look for the yellow, or ooh, 5/16. Julie's using the red today, so I know which size that is. There's no questioning. We need our mini glue gun, so I like to use the Sure Bonder mini glue gun. What's awesome about it is it folds up, and that allows you to get into the little crevices, especially when we're stemming flowers. And I like to use the 8-inch Gorilla glue sticks. We're using 65-pound cardstock. For my red, I am using the red from Printworks DIY. And they have some awesome paper packs for the different holidays. So this is their Christmas one. For my cream color, I kept it the same as yesterday. I'm getting very low on this color. This is cardstockwarehouse.com. They are about 40 minutes from here in Pennsylvania, but they ship super duper fast and the quality is great. So if you're looking for a nice beigey color, which is this is the closest I found to the beige that comes in the Roses multi-pack color by Recollections. And then my green is available in Printworks, and it's in one of their, I can't remember the paper pack. But also Cardstock Warehouse has one similar. So any green that you want, the Forest paper pack from Recollections, but 65-pound cardstock is the go-to one. If you are like me, I like to add the little extra detail. So I take my embossing stylus. This one is from Dollar Tree. I was so mad they didn't have any when I went yesterday. And we're going to add some veining. So I like to draw a line down the center. And then going down the left side, or starting at the bottom of the left side, I just add lines. And it almost creates a V shape. Almost like your natural veining on a leaf. Okay, and I do that to all of my leaves. And you can go through pretty fast because leaves aren't actually flat. So especially if you're using these on a sign, in your projects, you don't want them flat. Because if you see when you're walking around, like when I'm on the trail doing my walk, I always take notice of the leaf shapes. I often take pictures of them. You can then, after you emboss it, so you can see it gave it some shape, you can take any one of your dowel rods and you can curl them. Whether you want to curl them under or up. Maybe you want to do one side up, one under. I always like to add an additional shaping option with them. Okay. And now they look a little bit more realistic. For the feather number 2, I still did the veining, so I draw the line down the center. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit. And then starting at the bottom, I follow the shape of the leaf or feather-ish and do the lines. And you can see it creates that V shape. So here's my line down the center, and then I come in. So I start at the bottom, draw lines, come down from the top. And then what you can do, this is going to be a really bright color on the camera, sorry, is add some additional ink, because I went around the edges with my finger dabber before I added any ink. So you can see the ink there, but now you can just go in and brush on some additional, and it's going to highlight the veining. And that's what I like to do for most of my leaves. You can add some purple. Now I'm using red for Christmas, so normally I'll add purple to my leaves. You can also go over it a second time with your metal ball stylus, again following that same shape to really emboss that veining in there. So now you can see it. Beautiful. And same way with your other leaf. Before we did the dowel rod, we could brush on some additional ink. Just again to highlight the veining. So you can always curl them with your dowel rod. I think the quality of the paper by Printworks is good. I actually have no issues. Some of them are a little bit thinner. Their white is a little bit thinner than Recollection sometimes, or Nina. But again, I find the quality is perfect. You can see my flowers are fine. I've been using them now for quite a few months. So I definitely recommend them. It's just certain colors they may not have, or they did provide me a bunch of paper, but they didn't have the turquoise that I use for my client, so I did have to use Recollections. But I have a ton of Recollections too here in my stash. So, all right, so flower number 1, it's roughly a 5-inch flower. We're going a little bit larger, so we have a variety of sizes. So with my templates, you're getting 3 petal designs, 3 centers, and 2 leaves. So I choose to use one of the centers or petals as our sepal. So in this case, for this one, we're using center number 3. She is super duper fun. And again, you can still see that original petal shape in my centers. I just play around with the shapes. It's so much fun. All right, so for my inking on this entire flower, just like we did in our previous flower, is I start at the base. And for darker color paper, I like to use the ground espresso. Keep using the same one. It's soaking up that ink. Go down the right side, and you can go across the top. Then we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're just going to completely go all the way around. So thank you all for joining. Happy Saturday. I am Julie with PhotoFabPaperFlowers, and I am located in Pennsylvania in the mid-Atlantic states. It is freezing here right now. No snow. But thank God the wind stopped from yesterday, so it doesn't feel as cold today. Is it feeling frosty in your area? My friends down south, probably not so much. Starting at the base, going towards the tip. You need to come up north and visit me to experience some winter. I know the Midwest is getting hit with lots of snow. Or Christy, did you have a lot? All right, once we go down the right side, now we're going to come down the opposite side, starting at the base, going towards the tip. Okay, and then that way we have our entire petal inked in no time. I find this is the quickest way. I used to do each individual petal, both sides, and then I found, think smarter, Julie. Don't work harder. These are the conversations I have with myself in the craft room. Okay, so it's going to highlight the shape of that petal. She is so pretty. And then you flip it over and you do exactly that exact same thing. Vee, are you wearing shorts? And we're going down the right side. Again, make sure you get at the tip because it has that little extra point. I just realized it looks like somebody's giving the bird. And I have on 2 shirts, a scarf, and a winter coat. And the heat's on. I have a portable heater on too, and the heater. Though it is cement floor, so I like to have the portable heater on at my feet. Okay, once you go down the right side, now we're going to come down the opposite. So this way you do get ink on both sides. I figured you got it 20 inches. Holy smokies. Well, that's a beautiful Christmas scene. Hallmark movie for sure. I was up at 5:30 this morning, wide awake, friends. I think I was super excited for today's tutorial. Like a little kid in a candy store. Or seeing Santa. I love Santa. Alright, so I did that to all of my petals and the steeple, which is actually center number 3. For our styling of this, we're going to take our 1/8 inch purple dowel rod. So again, they're color coded. Purple 1/8. And you're going to place it down in the middle of the petal and you're going to pinch around. So welcome in, friends. I hope you're having a fabulous weekend. We're super excited to collaborate once again, and this is our last collaboration for 2025. Once flower camp hits, we're together a lot. We have Halloween Spectacular and then a very Merry Makers weekend. And thank you for always being so supportive with my crazy ideas through the years. And we're just pinching around our 1/8 inch dowel rod. And you can see what the sepal looks like. So we're just going to set that to the side and do the same thing to our second one. We could have done both of these at the exact same time, but these are a lot thinner. So I didn't want them to get caught on each other. So again, place that dowel rod down. Use your thumb and index finger and just pinch around. Now I am right-handed, so a lot of times my curl is going to come in more from the right. Yeah, this year definitely flew by. It's unbelievable. Gosh, Monday, it's December already, friends. Ah, thank you, friend. Loving my crazy ideas. Is anybody doing anything fun besides hanging out with us today? Shopping? I don't really have a lot of shopping to do. I want to pull out my Mickey and Minnie gingerbread light up figures and get the tree out. Decorating can take place either late tomorrow or next weekend. All right. So we rolled the petals up, and that's our sepal. We set them off to the side. For our center, now you can see mine pulled apart when I used a brand new mat, so it will sometimes rip my centers, which is okay. It's completely fine. I did brush on some vintage photo when it was on the mat, but you can see this fun little shape. It has a little point here at the top. So we are going to use our bone folder and curl these. So holding it along the straight edge, you're just going to pull and curl them. And this center could definitely be used in your large paper flowers. So depending on what theme you're going for, you can cut this at a larger size and use it in your center for your large paper flower. So though we call this a very Merry Makers weekend, this definitely, any of these templates do not have to be used just for Christmas, Hanukkah, any winter event. It could be used all year round depending on the color. Along the flat edge with my ink side up, it's very, very subtle. You don't probably even see the ink there. You're going to take your bone folder and pull and curl it. Yeah, I'm with you. I want to go walk around the West Reading area, which has a lot of small businesses and great restaurants over where I work. They have some great shops over there. After we curl it with our moan folder, we're going to take our slotted quilling tool. If you do buy my sets, I do sell them. They come in a set of 4. Trying to look for the pink. So you can pick any of the 4 colors when you want to use your slotted quilling tool. I'm going to start with my one that tore when I pull it off the mat. Slide one end in. I always start at the right end, okay? You can see I press down on my index finger for some reason. Roll it towards you a few times. Keeping that bottom right edge aligned, we're going to add some glue. Now, since this is a smaller piece, I went all the way down. Keep rolling it towards you, keeping that aligned the best you can. And we're going to add the second part. So go to where your last one ended. Again, mine tore, so this is why I have 3 pieces. Roll it towards you, keeping that bottom right edge line, and the Gorilla Glue dries super fast, so hopefully we got it in time. So you can see how it gives you these little spiky things at the top. I love it. So now for our inking, this is the fun part. We're going to add a little bit more vintage photo. Holding it while it's still on your slotted quilling tool, brush some on. And here you can go a little bit heavier. Okay. Then I'm going to come back through with some red. Oops. Brush it on. Okay. And then I like to come back through. For another layer of ink, we're going to use the ground espresso. So again, building up your color for the look that you're going for. Maybe you don't want to add the ink. You simply can just use a different color center. So we're just giving you some suggestions. We go a little bit above and beyond, or me with my inking. I'll definitely enable you. Add enough glue to your second center to make 1 rotation around. So I added much more than I needed. Here's where it ended. I'm going to overlap slightly. Keep rolling it towards you, keeping the bottom edge aligned the best you can. And then secure the end with hot glue. Okay. So now I'm going to repeat that process over again with the vintage photo. Brush it on. I cover mostly down. You won't see all of it with this flower, but just to make sure. And play around with some colors that you have if you enjoy inking like I do. Now you do need to figure that into your costs with your projects because the inking does take a lot of time. Okay, then we're going to go back through with the red. And this is generally what I'll do when I'm working on a client order as well. I'll do the sepals first, or I'll do the center first, especially if I'm making multiple flowers of the same kind. I'll do all the centers, do all the sepals, and then work on the petals. Then we're going to come back through and yes, tone it down the red a little bit. Or blend in some darker brown. And you can see again, those little pieces, they're like frilly pieces at the top. All right. Linda's sitting outside. If I had a heater, I'd be sitting outside. And there's your center. Now let's style our petals. So with this one, a Very Merry Makers Weekend 2025 mini flower bundle, this is template 6. This would be file number 2 for template 6. I have it labeled as 2-flower1. And all you need to do is upload that project file and ungroup it if you're using the SVG files, which are super easy in Cricut Design Space. And just change the color if you prefer. So yes, I do have some ink on me already. We have 3 of petal number 1. So she's a large petal. We cut her at 5 inches wide. So we're going to take our red. So you can see we have a pretty large gap on either sides. So it will have a nice curl. So lift it up and wrap it around. Curl it around between your fingers. Now, if you notice it didn't come in as far, you can just curl that side in. Okay. So again, I have all 3 stacked. We're going to place it down in the middle of that petal. Pinch it up with your thumb and roll it. And I'm squeezing tight. Good morning, Vanessa. Linda's outside. A sunny breeze in Florida. Is it 80 degrees? Are you cooler now? Place it down the middle of the petal, pinch it up, and roll. So these are our bottom layers. We don't want them super duper curled. And this beautiful petal design was designed by my friend Forever Petals by Vee. Super duper snowflake. So if you're doing a frozen theme, wintry, gorgeous. And even as we're just making it as a traditional flower, it's super pretty. Can't wait for you to see it. And then our second flower, a great little filler flower as well. Okay, I'm super excited to see it in red. All right, that's layers 1 through 3. Now, one of these you're going to take off and put it in your pile with your sepal. Okay, then we're going to start our pile over here. Did I not? I don't think I inked this one. Oh, Julie. All right, so we start, let's go, we start from the base and go towards the tip. That's funny. And we're going to go all the way around so you can see how I'm inking the petals. Always double check. Make sure you're getting across the top because it has a nice little detail. Okay, then we're going to come down the opposite side. So yeah, double check that you inked both sides of your petals. Ooh, 51, that's gorgeous. Vanessa, how dare they bug you while you're watching your friends here on YouTube? All right, there we go. Keep your ink out just to make sure. We're going to stack these. Make sure I got them lined up. There we go. And for this one, we're going to use our 5/16, which is our red, on the larger petal. And then we're going to take our Coastal Blue 3/16 on the smaller. Okay, so using the red, pinch up and roll it between your fingers. Okay, you're going to skip the smaller ones for now. Pinch up and roll. Okay, then come back through with your blue 3/16. Oh my God. Pinch up and roll. I need to pull it together. All right, so we used 5/16 on layers 1 and 2, which is petal 1. Petal 2 is layers 3 and 4. We use the 5/16 red on the larger and then the blue 3/16 on the smaller ones. Our next two layers, 5 and 6, are with petal number 3. So our petal shapes are changing. Okay, and for this one, we're simply using the coastal blue 3/16. Place it down in the middle of the petal so she'll still have a nice curl because you can see the gap on either side. Pinch it up with your thumb and roll. So you can see it has a nice curl. And then again, I inked both at sides of our petals, all of them, with a finger dabber. Okay, and we just keep stacking them largest to smallest. Okay, this is center number 2. She's fun. And there's 2 of these at 3.75. We're going to take our purple 1/8 inch and also our Julie dowel rod, which is the one that's not color coded, whether you have the 12-inch dowel rod set or the 6-inch. So the purple and the Julie. The purple will be for the larger petal, the Julie. But before we do that, you're going to take your precision scissors and cut between each petal towards the center. And what this does is make the actual center smaller so we can get it in between our petals. So we need it to be more closed up. Okay, so we're going to take our purple 1/8 for the larger ones, place it down. So you can see again, there's a nice gap, but we really want to make our petals skinnier and as you get smaller towards the center of your flower. So we're going to go through and do all the larger petals. Pinch it up and roll. And I'm squeezing tight so you can see that curl. Yes, Forever Petals by Vee will be immediately following or a short intermission in between. And she is busy prepping her petals. I cannot wait. We're going to take the Julie dowel rod. Again, it's the one that's not color-coded or anything skinnier than a 1/8 inch dowel rod. Okay, so pinch around. So again, I'm right-handed, so my curl will come in more from the right. So we're just coming back through to do the smaller petals. Now you can do one petal at a time, meaning I stack 2 of them. I'm going to place these on another pile because we're going to create our center here and then glue it into the main flower. And then center number 3, which is what we use for our sepal, but we cut 1 to use in our flower center. So we're also going to cut in between each petal towards the center. So just go right in here. I hug the left side of the opening. Just a slight little cut, maybe 1/8 of an inch-ish. Ish. Technical terms I use here. So you should be able to see those cuts. Okay, and now we're going to take that Julie. No, let me just double check. 1/8 purple. No. We're going to take the Julie. I wrote it down wrong. Okay, We're just going to pinch around there. Place that dowel rod down. You can see I'm simply just placing it. I'm not rolling, I'm just pinching around to take that shape, that curled shape. Thank you all for joining. Happy Saturday! And it's day one. Don't forget Forever Petals by Me will be live after we're done here on her YouTube channel. And then later today on Facebook, we have Florist the Explorers. And I think this is his first tutorial for 2025 as we close out the year. We're super excited. And be sure to share the videos to your socials, Pinterest, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Let's inspire everybody to make some gorgeous flowers. All right, so we have our pile for our center. And then we have our larger petals. All right, so we have our flower shaping mat, a 1/4 inch soft foam mat that helps us when we roll our metal ball stylus. So we're going to flip our stack of petals over. Layer 1 and 2 are petal 1. We place one to the side over here. Okay, layer 1, you're not going to roll the center. We like it flat. Layer 2, both of these petals are rolled up. Okay. So because this is a larger center, you can take one of the larger metal ball stylus, roll right where the petals meet the base, right around. And you can see it lifts them up. Add some glue on the underside, right in the center. Bring this back. You can see this Y shape. Now we're going to do the upside down Y. We're going to bring it straight down in between and press. I like to stand when I assemble my flowers, and it's going to help you keep it directly over top. Now it is a little bit more difficult for me because I have a camera in the way, but you can see by standing I can get it directly in the center. Okay, layers 1 and 2. Layers 3 and 4 are petal number 2, and those are also rolled up. We used our red for the larger petals, 5/16, and then we used the blue 3/16. Now, we went from 5 petals to 6. So there will be a little bit of shifting in our assembly. So roll right where the petals meet the base to lift those petals up. And I press hard, you can see. Try and keep it as vertical as possible. Sometimes I'm guilty of not doing that. Now we're still going to place it in between, but you may get some stacking. So if you want to go a little bit off center, you can. But one of them will always stack, so it's completely okay. So bring it straight down in between. I'm just going to go directly in between. And press. And that will happen when you go from 5 to 6. So now we're going to go over here where you can see they were stacked behind the previous layer. Add your glue. And we're going to look at the large petal and place it in between. So press it straight down. And that filled it in exactly very nicely. She's so pretty. I like it in red. Petal number 3, we have 2 of them at 4 inches wide. We rolled them up with the blue 3/16 inch dowel rod. Ooh, I just got a notification. So, as you saw in our original postings on Facebook about our event, have you seen all the shirts that you're most likely to do this? I'm the person most likely to flirt with Santa because I love Santa Claus. I'm also the person who's most likely to eat all the Christmas cookies besides my dad. We saw Florist the Explorers is most likely to be on the pickleball court, maybe beating Santa or Ryan. And Vee is also most likely to be out shopping on Christmas Eve. Again. So I did order some shirts and I just got the notification they arrived. What are you most likely to be the culprit of? There's some good ones. And my order shipped the next day from Etsy, so I'm excited. I'm going to wear the shirt tomorrow. I'll wash them. So now we have 6 petals, so we can directly place them in between the previous layers. So pick any one. We're going to look at these 2, bring it straight down in between, and press. Okay, I like to keep shifting it around. Add your glue. We're going to look at the top 2 petals, choose a petal, and bring it straight down. Oh, when Florist Explorers goes to Hobby Lobby, look out. I experienced his Hobby Lobby trip. Ooh, she's pretty. So let's do our center. Set your flower to the side. She's gorgeous in the red. All right, we have our rolled center, which is center 1. We have center number 3. We only have 1 of these. And then we have center number 2, and we have 2 of these. So let's place them in order. From the center out, we start with this, glue it into there. Then we take this, glue it into here, and then into here, and then into the center. How's that? So we work our way back. But before we can glue it in, you're going to take your metal ball stylus, and because we cut in between each of these petals, you're going to go directly in the center, not around the edges like we did before. Okay. Press hard, I do. And when you think you can't get any more petals in the center of your flower, you can, friends. Believe me. With humidity and everything, I like to make sure my flowers are really tight in the center. That way they're not going to open up. Especially here or Florida, you have high humidity like we do here in the Mid-Atlantic. We're going to take our rolled center, add glue to the bottom, and go around that flat edge. Place it directly in the center. Directly in the center, Julie. Fold it up and around. And you can see, because we cut in between each petal, you get a flat edge there. Okay. Now we're going to add glue to the bottom so you can see again those little cuts. All right, I'm going to look at one of my petals and place it in between. So bring it straight down. I always look at the side when we're doing our center. So if you pull that back, it went in between those 2. Fold it up and around. Ooh, so pretty. This is when the magic happens, and honestly, it still amazes me when I start 2018, how that flat piece of cardstock paper and some of the craziest petal designs turn out to be the most gorgeous flowers. Look at a petal, place it in between, so come straight down and press. And my journey into paper flowers, for some of you who may not know, most of you probably know. I did have somebody ask me the other day. My boss. My coworker asked me to make her nursery flowers. And now Miss Addie is, what, 7 years old? 2018? 19, 20. Yeah, 7 years old. And her flowers are still on her wall. And I stumbled upon Forever Petals by Me, bought all of her templates, followed her tutorial, took my notes, and stopped and started her video, and 90 minutes later I made a beautiful pink rose for myself. Bring it straight down, and I'm going to keep my eye on this petal and place it in between those two. So bring it straight down and press. And Miss Addie tells me all the time she loves her flowers. She's a girly girl, so we have some beautiful pink roses on her wall yet and white. And look how beautiful! But we're not done. We still have one of petal 1. We're going to flip that over. And then we have our 2 sepals, which are center 3. What? So just the way it is, we don't need to roll the center with the petals rolled under. You're simply going to add some glue to the top here. Flip it over, and we're going to place it right in between, directly in there. And it's going to give it a nice shape. Because remember, most of the time, if you're putting these in arrangements, you're not going to look at it straight on. You're looking at it from the side. Oh, it's so pretty in this color. Now for your 2 sepals again, which are center 3, we're going to roll where the petals meet the base. Now I'm not stemming these for the moment. If you were, you can use your piercing scoring tool and poke a hole before you roll the center. I like to add mine facing down. If I do stem this, I will just add another sepal. Okay, I just look at any petal and bring it straight down in the center. So you can start to see how beautiful. Add glue with the petals facing under. And we're going to go in between our previous layers, and it's going to fill it in nicely. And that is flower number 1. She's so beautiful. So let's show you in blue. Or teal. Now, it will get flattened out, as you can see. And then I used the green color from the Printworks for when I used the teal. So I did use 2 different colors. And isn't it beautiful? I love these colors together, the teal and the red. All right, so that's flower number 1. Let's go on to flower 2. I pre-inked everything, so it won't take too long. I just have to find it. 1 second. And I chose to do this in red because my previous sample is also in the teal color. So I'll show you that once we're done. Again, very, very simple. We're taking basically I got inspired by our original flower to create a spikier filler flower. And I love a good spiky flower in your arrangements. It makes my heart so happy. I know, Vee, 7.5 years later. It's crazy. Oh, thank you. It's so beautiful. All right. So you have a project file, again, in your zip file that you get when you purchase a Very Merry Makers mini flower bundle from my Etsy shop. And it will be labeled 3-flower 2. And then it'll have a longer description. Again, everything is notated in that 10-page document I provide to you. And to show you all the different flower shapes, everything's labeled in there. And then if you want to purchase our large templates of template 6 from a Very Merry Makers mini flower bundle, it is a separate purchase from Forever Petals by Vee. And her large flowers can be hand cut or machine cut. Mine are only machine cut. All right, so for the sepal for this one, I'm using petal number 3. I inked both sides with the ground espresso. And we're going to take our purple dowel rod, which is our 1/8 inch purple, and you're going to roll the petals up. So basically you can just pinch around it. So literally just go and pinch. And it takes the shape of that dowel rod. Pinch. What should we make tomorrow? Does anybody have a preference? A 12-inch round sign that says Merry and Bright with, and I got the wording from Dollar Tree, or an arrangement. Nathan is late to the party, my friend. Thank you for joining though, Nathan. It's okay, we'll forgive you. All right, we rolled our sepal petals up. We're going to flip them over and set it to the side. Okay. Flip it over so you can see where I'm going with this design. This is center number 2, which is going to be our main flower petal. And we have 4 of these. So we went much smaller. And we're going to take our purple 1/8 inch and our Julie, the one not colored. Julie and purple. Purple. Purple is the larger width petal, so place it down. And you're just going to pinch it up. We're going to go through, again, just lay it down in the middle of the petal and pinch around. Okay. Then you're going to come back through with the thinner ones, and you're going to take that Julie and pinch. So we're basically using the same tools. However, we're going to use 18 gauge floral stem wire for rolling our smaller petals. Okay, so pinch around. Okay, we're going to take our other 2. There's 4 of these. And we're just going to line those petals up. Line them up, Julie. Now I did rip off one petal, so just simply add some glue. And since we have the Julie dowel rod in our hand, we're just going to start with that, the smaller petals. So there's 4 of these, so we're just going through and rolling the other 2. We can't give you choices. Oh, I can't give us choices because I want you to do both. Well, no matter what, I have to do an arrangement. I kind of want to do a sign. I haven't done one in a while. I just want to check my stash. All right, then you're going to take the purple 1/8 inch, place it down, and we're going to roll the larger petals. So again, just pinch around it. Place it directly down the center, pinch around. Okay. So we have 4 of those. We're going to set those to the side. Now we have center 3, and we have 3 of those. So we saw this. We used this in our previous flower. We used it actually for the sepal in our previous flower and around our center. So for 2 of these, you're going to stack. And you're going to cut in between each petal. Keep it towards the left side of that opening. And again, if you don't want to ink these on both sides, you don't have to. You can simply, how about some shimmer paper would be beautiful, which I might have to do for my client order. I like being pushed outside of my comfort zone with different colors of teal and everything. All right, so we cut through. It's hard to get it to focus. And now we are going We're going to use our piece of 18 gauge floral stem wire, and we're going to curl these. So I'm going to separate them and do them one at a time. So place it down in the middle of the petal and pinch around. Nathan, that's great. Just pinch around. We want these super duper thin, spiky little flowers. Like Christmas Story, you're going to shoot your eye out, kid. I have glasses on for protective eyewear for this flower. So 2 of them we cut in between each petal towards the center. Okay. And we're going to come back through and do our second petal. Again, we cut in between each petal. Just pinch around the 18 gauge floral stem wire. I usually keep little pieces in my stash. It's probably easier. When I cut off extra pieces when working on arrangements, I keep these little pieces in a container on my workspace. Pinch around. Okay. Well, that hurts my fingers. Be sure to stretch. And then we have one more where we did not cut in between each petal. You're simply going to pinch around it, the 18 gauge floral stem wire, which is my standard size wire I use to stem my flowers, unless it's a much larger or a super size one, we call it, which are like 8 inches, 7 to 8 inches. So just pinch around to get that shape so you can see it's taking the shape of the wire. Just pinch around. Ooh, it's hurting my fingers for sure. All right. So we want to make sure these 2 are in front. And now we have our rolled center. So we have 2 of these, which are center number 1. So just like we did, this one's ready to rip. Again, I used a new mat, so just be careful. We're going to stack them, hold it along the straight edge, and you're going to curl with the bone folder. I cut mine on light cardstock setting. Almost everything was cut on that or light cardstock plus. With the Cricut Premium Fine Cut Blade. I cut everything with the Cricut Premium Fine Cut Blade. You don't have to cut it twice. It cuts right through on the light cardstock setting, and the Premium blade definitely lasts super duper long. Now we're going to take our slotted quilling tool, starting with either one. I'm going to start with the one that ripped a little. Thread the end. I like to start on the right end. That's the hardest part for me, especially wearing glasses. We're going to roll it towards you a few times. Then I always stop. We want to make sure it's secure, so add some glue. I'm just going to make sure I get that spot where it's going to tear. Roll it towards you, keeping that bottom right edge aligned the best you can. And I'm just going to finish rolling it towards me. So again, this is made to center exactly like our larger flower. Okay, then we can ink. We're going to add our vintage photo or whatever colors you choose to use. Yes, thank you all for joining us today. We do appreciate your love and support. And again, be sure to subscribe, like, follow. Thank you for being such loyal followers, subscribers. We love you. And if you're new here, let us know. We are super excited. Hopefully you found this, stumbled upon us. We do live tutorials here, sometimes on Facebook. We are switching platforms because of Facebook deleting our live videos. So we're slowly in the process of uploading I'm in the process of uploading all the older ones here so you can access them and update the links. But when you do purchase my templates in my Etsy shop, there is videos here on YouTube already without all the chit chat. It's basically an instruction document or video. It wasn't a live. And then add a little bit of ground espresso over top or whatever colors you choose or don't want to. I'm keeping my centers all the same. And then we start over with our second center. So with the curl facing towards you, add some glue to make one rotation around. We're going to go right to where the last one ended. Who's super excited for these templates to see her large paper flower? I am super excited. Very snowflake-ish design, and I love it. All right, now we're going to add some vintage photo again, so we're just going to repeat that process. Vintage photo, lumberjack plaid, ground espresso. Brush it on. And I just had a flash to Grease movie where she's brushing her teeth. Jan, brusha, brusha, brusha. Brush your ink on, friends. Add some red. Nathan's just a little excited. Yay! And then some brown, darker brown ground espresso. Brush it on top. Nathan, I'm toning it down. I said yesterday, you probably didn't like that I toned down the red. You need it all bright and big, right? And there you have your center. You can press it down a little to shape her, but I kept her very tall. I didn't want to squish the shape of the top of it. Now we start with our 4 petals of center 2. We're going to separate those. These are your largest. Okay. We're going to take our second to smallest metal ball stylus. Layer 1, we don't roll the center. Roll right where the petals meet the base. Okay. I'm going to take one of them, add glue, so all the petals are rolled up. Okay, we're going to go in between any 2 petals, bring it straight down. These are all the same size. And then we're going to rotate it. Add some glue. I'm not repeating that one. Look at the top too. Bring it straight down and press. Oh my God. Oh, Nathan, we love you. All right, add glue. And again, we're going to go in between the previous layer's petals, bring it straight down. She's so pretty. She's fun and spiky. Personality. Now we're going to take the two we cut in between each petal. And then this is the one we didn't. So we're going to start with the two we cut in between each petal. Use your metal ball stylus. And we're going to roll right in the center for these two. And then our third one, we can roll right where the petals meet the base. And they are magically standing up. All right, so we're going to take our center, rolled center, add glue to the bottom and around that flat edge. Glue it directly in the center. Hardest part, fold those petals up and around. So this looks familiar, right, from our previous flower. All right, so you can see because we cut in between, our center, it's got so hard for it to focus, is much smaller. And our side, our center, the round part comes up the sides. So you can just add glue all the way around that. It looks like the badminton birdie. We're placing these in between. This petal's in between those two. Okay, flip it up. Whoop. Press on the bottom. Add glue on the bottom. I like to look at it from the underside, it's a lot easier. Choose a petal, place it in between. That petal went in between those two. Give it a moment to dry. And then flip it up. Now we're going to pop it in the center here, add some glue. Remember, we're reheating that same spot, so just be careful it doesn't shift. Add glue. I'm going to keep an eye on one of these and place it in between. So bring it straight down, pop it right in the center. I got some glue strings. Ooh, it's so fun. Look at her. And then we're going to add her two sepals, which are petal 3. And again, you can stem these just because I'm not sure of my project. If I do an arrangement, I'll definitely just add another sepal. With the petals rolled under, add some glue. Now, of course, because they're going to be sitting flat, these will flatten out. Keep it in the center. This petal went in between those two. Add glue with the petals rolled under. Okay, place the petals in between. Oh, shit, so pretty. And let me get you the blue. And that is flower number 2 with template 6 mini flower from A Very Merry Maker's Weekend. Isn't she beautiful? I was looking for my smaller leaves. I didn't finish inking those. So if they're flat, that's what it looks like. But you can also use the smaller feather design as well. But so pretty, and that is it for today, for day 2 with template 6. So whether you want to go with the traditional red, maybe some teals. She's super duper pretty. What's your color palette for this year? Oh, thank you so much, my friends. Thank you. Rick James says hello. Hey, Rick James. Is he hanging out with Bigfoot from Flower Camp? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. So again, look at them from the sides. That's my favorite part. Like you can really see how beautiful they are. The spikiness goes perfectly together. And then if you pull in our flowers from yesterday, we have some beautiful shapes. Ooh. So we have some round ones to fit in there. And that is my flowers for a Very Merry Makers weekend. We will pull it all together with a project tomorrow. So I truly do appreciate it. V, do you would like a 10 or 15 minute break? Let me know in the comments. Thank you, Erica. Oh, yay! I love that you can't wait to try making yours. The teal, Christy, I have no idea. I think the darker teal is from the boutique. The lighter one, I have no idea. Because I did at one point take apart all my paper packs and color code them. So I'm not sure what that is. It's more of a blue color. Might have been... Might be sugar candy. Nope. Yeah, I'm not sure on the lighter one. And I know the darker one is in a couple different packets. We'll get started at 11:30, 12:30 Eastern time. So we're going to head over to Forever Petals by V. Go grab some hot cocoa, maybe a boozy hot cocoa. And if you haven't tried rum chata peppermint bark, oh my God, it's delicious. And you could add it to hot cocoa. I don't know. I did a shot of it. Not before today's tutorial, but I do highly recommend that one. But we're going to head over to Forever Petals by V at 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central. So we'll see you live there. I'll be in the comments. And let's support our friend and small business owners. And thank you so much. And we'll be back tomorrow. It is 5 o'clock somewhere. Yeah. Maybe I have to go get the bigger bottle. I tried the little one for a shot. So thank you, my friends. We'll see you soon. Bye.